What is going on, guys? We are back with another video, and it is October 31st right now, Halloween night, end of the month. Most teams have played like 8 to 10 games, so I thought it'd be a fun idea to close out the month with a little awards update in terms of some of the standard awards like the Hart, Vezina, Norris, but also do some fun awards. I got some awards like Best Offseason Move, Emerging Superstar, Potential Bust, and also Most Concerning Team. So we have about 10 awards to go through. So let's dive into it. Up first, Hart Trophy and Ted Lindsay is Jack Hughes right now. 5 goals, 13 assists, 18 points, leading the entire league in points by 3 points right now. And he's only played in 8 games. Some people have played in 9 or 10. He is the no doubt Hart Trophy right now. I would still pick McDavid to end up winning it just because McDavid is that good, and he only missed, 3 games, maybe even 2. So McDavid would still be my pick, but I think second place right now has to be Jack Hughes, maybe Austin Matthews. He's just playing fantastic. The Devils, obviously 5-2-1 right now, kind of picking up exactly where they left off. And a big thing with Hughes right now, he's playing 21 minutes and 48 seconds a night. You compare that to last year, he's playing only 19:58. I think it's going to come down a little bit, but he's going to play like mid to low 21 minutes. He's a top 10 player in the league at this point, and just overall clutch moments to start the season, like that overtime goal against New York. What am I talking about? Against the Islanders, my team. So he's just been the complete package, multiple 3+ point nights. The kid has been absolutely insane. Next up, Best Offseason Move. Probably could have gone with Jack Hughes' teammate Tyler Toffoli, but considering the Red Wings got Alex DeBrincat, and they signed him for a 4-year, $7.875 million contract for the next 3 years, is going to be fantastic. We all knew that deal was going to be great. Kubalik and a first-round pick for DeBrincat was a very good deal. That first-round pick's probably going to be mid to late. Kubalik's just a good third liner, low-end second liner, and he's been fantastic. Him and Dylan Larkin have been probably the best duo in the entire league outside of maybe Jack Hughes and Bratt. Besides that, he's been great. 10 games, 9 goals, 4 assists. I think he's going to cruise past 40 goals this year. Could even get 50. And they got him in his prime. He's only 25 years old for the next 3 seasons after this. At this point, $7.8 million is like okay first liner money. Based on how good him and Larkin have been, I expect him to hit basically 40 goals all 4 years of this contract. He's been fantastic. Next up for the Norris Trophy, Adam Fox. 3 goals, 8 assists for 11 points. I didn't have Adam Fox being a Norris finalist, even though you guys know I love Adam Fox. I think he's no doubt the second best defenseman in the entire league, but I thought it was going to take a little bit of time for this New York Rangers team to learn the system of Peter Laviolette. The offense maybe wouldn't be as prolific as last year, losing Tarasenko, losing Kane, losing some other pieces, but it's been great. While Adam Fox has been on the ice this year, they have an 82.4% goals percentage, and in terms of expected goals, 65.8 percentage. That's 9th in the entire league. Basically, out of every number 1 defenseman, that is first. Rangers are 7-2, in part because he's been so fantastic. I think he's going to cruise to like 75 plus points. I still would pick Cale Makar probably to win it, similarly to McDavid, just because he's so goddamn good. But Adam Fox is proving yet again why he is the second best defenseman in all of hockey. Next up, Superstar Emerging. This is like a young guy that seems to be taking that next step and becoming a superstar. And for me, it is pretty easily Mason McTavish. Right now, he has 5 goals and 6 assists for 11 points in just 9 games. I thought Trevor Zegras was going to have this kind of breakout, but instead it's Mason McTavish. And I didn't think Mason McTavish was going to have that good of breakout because he was going to play with Ryan Strome and Frank Vetrano. But meanwhile, Vetrano has 9 goals in 9 games. Strome has, I believe, 11 or 12 points in those 9 games. But I think Mason McTavish has been the most complete player on that line, centering that line. He's such a grown man out there, if that makes sense. He's only 20 years old, but he plays with such physicality, such maturity. I just love his overall game. And similarly to a Jack Hughes, a big reason why he's kind of taken this next step is because he went from 15 minutes a night to now playing almost 18 minutes. They are absolutely working him, and he's pretty easily the best forward on this team right now. The Strome, Vetrano, and McTavish line are outscoring opponents 9-2 at even strength this year. That's an 82% goals for percentage. And in terms of expected goals, it is a little bit worse, but it's still 53.2%. Again, I thought this was going to be Zegras Carlson's team, but Mason McTavish right now is looking like the franchise piece. He's looked fantastic. Next up, on the flip side of that, the potential bust. Slavkovsky, man. Slavkovsky is not looking good. He has 1 assist in 9 games. That assist came in the opener. I reviewed that opening game, and I thought him and Kirby Dach looked very good, but obviously Dach eventually goes down. He just hasn't had the same success after that. I don't think that he's played as bad as 1 point in 9 games. That equates to like 9-point pace on the entire season. He's not that bad, but they need to send him down to Laval, man. Just let him get more reps, play with a future guy that he might be playing on the same line with, like a Joshua Waugh, and just dominate at the AHL level, because we've seen back-to-back years now. I think, what's the number at? I think he's played 50 NHL games, and he has either 11 or 12 points. He's just not ready. He's not ready. Definitely he wasn't ready last year. This year he's definitely improved, but he's still not a high-impact NHLer. And for a guy that's so young, only 19 years old, just let him go play in the AHL, man. They'll get clowned on social media, but at the end of the day, it probably will be the right call. Next up, Vezina Trophy. It's Jake Ottinger right now, man. He's a .940 save percentage, 1.74 goals against average, 5.4 goals saved above expected, and a 4-0-1 record in 5 games played. It doesn't get much better than that. He's been fantastic. Last year, he was 5th in Vezina voting. This year, only taking his game to another level. This guy's gotten better every single year in the NHL. He went from a .911 save percentage to a .914 to a .919. I said that I had him as second place in my Vezina standings. I'm standing by that. Shesterkin's also starting to heat up, who I had winning. But Jake Ottinger on that Dallas Stars team is going to be so essential to them. I think he's going to play around 60 games, and they are a very good team, but he's also a very good player. Do I think he is a top 3 goalie? No, I don't. But he's going to put up fantastic stats like he is right now. Obviously not going to keep a .940, but he's been great. Next up, a guy that you could maybe argue should be the Vezina winner, Joseph Woll. The only problem is he has only played 4 out of his team's 8 games, but he has a .961 and a .133. I would say it's like shocking, but I'm pretty sure he had a .930 in like 7 games last year in the regular season, and he was also fantastic for them in the playoffs. He's not obviously not going to keep this up, but like Joseph Woll at this point, probably the number 1. Ilya Samsonov has been on, like, as good as Woll has been, Samsonov has been equally as bad. I think Samsonov's like bottom 3 in goals saved above expected. Meanwhile, Joseph Woll's like 1st in the entire league. They are at polar opposites. And this guy is he's definitely not a veteran because he is eligible for the Calder Trophy, but he's like 25 or 26 years old. This isn't a Devin Levi who the Sabres thought that he was going to walk into the league and be an elite starter at goddamn 21 years old. Woll has been developing in the AHL against pretty good talent for multiple years now. So at this stage, I would say Connor Bedard has a good chance to win the Vezina because he's Connor Bedard and he still has 4 goals and 2 assists in 9 games. But Joseph Woll, if he runs with this starting job, he might be my pick right now just because I know that the Toronto Maple Leafs are going to be a good team. Woll, if he ends up getting 55 starts on that good of a team, even if his numbers aren't that great, he's going to rack up wins, have a pretty decent save percentage and goals against average. So Joseph Woll right now, very impressive. Next up, the biggest surprise thus far is Jonas Johansson of the Tampa Bay Lightning. Going into the season, the number 1 concern, and I had Tampa Bay Lightning in the playoffs, but I had him in a wild card. I had him 3rd in the division. So I still had him at the division spot, but I had him only at, I think, 97 points. It was because of goaltending, man. Vasilevsky out for the first 8 weeks of the season. Jonas Johansson 2 years ago had a .481 and an .852 in 11 games. So his track record was just not there to potentially step up and be that guy. But he's kind of been that guy thus far. He has a .922 and a 2.73 in 8 games, as well as 6.6 goals saved above expected, which ranked 3rd in the entire league. He has stepped up. Obviously, he's going to start slowing down probably, but thus far, he has done exactly what the Tampa Bay Lightning have needed, and as a result, they are in a playoff spot right now. As long as they can maintain that, then you get Vasilevsky back, and Johansson looks like he could be a pretty good backup right now. They're probably going to be fine. They're going to be a playoff team. People wrote off this team far too much just because of starting goalie, not their overall surroundings. Obviously, Jonas is playing insane, but he's the biggest surprise in the entire NHL for me right now. The Vezina Trophy. The Jack Adams Trophy right now for me, Bruce Cassidy, it's pretty easy. 9-0-1. There's some stat of the Vegas Golden Knights have like a 87% points percentage over their last 50 games. This team's absolutely cooking. You saw it. Peter DeBoer didn't do a bad job before he left in Vegas, but they did make the playoffs in part because they were injury riddled. But since Cassidy has got there, they've pretty much been the best team in all of hockey outside of Boston Bruins, at least regular season wise. Overall, they probably have been the best team in the entire league. But he's been fantastic. They play just so fundamentally sound. He maximizes the players on his team. Guys like Chandler Stevenson out of nowhere become 65-point guys under him. He's just done a fantastic job in Vegas. And as a result, he would be my Jack Adams right now. When you have no losses in regulation, you're probably going to be the Jack Adams winner. Moving on, though, the final thing, my most concerning team, the Calgary Flames. There's a couple of teams to pick for this. Could have went with the Penguins. I could have went with the Kraken. They've also been bad, but I think it is the Calgary Flames. Right now, they are fourth in the entire league in terms of goals for. They're only scoring 2.11 goals per game. And then in terms of goals against, I still like their defensive core a lot, but they're allowing 3.6 goals against, which is fifth worst in the entire league. They're just a mess. Markstrom isn't playing that bad. It's honestly the pieces around him. The defense core is really not stepping up. Losing Anderson for those 4 games definitely hurt them. Getting rid of their legit number one defenseman, that really killed them. And then you look at offensively. I was told after the amazing preseason that he had that Matt Coronado was going to walk in and provide 50-plus points to that team. He has a goal and an assist in 9 games at this point. Jonathan Huberdeau, it appears like he's just never going to go back to his Florida form. He has 6 points in 9 games. He can give you probably low 60s. The 116-point Jonathan Huberdeau is long and gone. And just overall, Lindholm, okay. Kadri, okay. They're all just mid 50-point, low 50-point guys. They don't excite you anything about their team. Nothing about their team excites you offensively. They don't have any game breakers. Even if they're game breakers that are horrible defensively, I personally would rather have that than these just safe, bleh, two-way guys that they have that offer absolutely no creativity. Offense when it comes to your forward core. And they just do not have that right now. So as a result, Pittsburgh, I still think can make the playoffs. Edmonton, going to be fine. Seattle, I didn't have in the playoffs. I did have the Flames in the playoffs. And right now, I would say that they don't make it. But those are my awards. Let me know in the comments. What do you think about it? What would your picks for some of my fun awards would be? How about the Hart, Vezina, Norris? I want to hear from you guys. And make up some awards in the comments and give it to someone. Would love to see it. And I'll see you in the next one.